We are live. What's going on, Fight Night gang? Welcome to episode 54 of the Fight Night Forecast, where we highlight, recap, and cover all things boxing, baby. Man, I never get tired of saying that. Ever, bro. I'm telling y'all right now. Never get tired of saying it. But hey, we gotta, you know what I mean? We're working, hey, it's a little later than we normally come, you know what I mean? Your boy got wrapped up in some things today at the, you know what I mean, at the other job, you know what I mean? So, today, you know what I mean, we're gonna work through this episode a little quick. I know it's the beginning of a holiday weekend for a lot of the viewers. If you live stateside, like myself, happy early 4th of July to y'all. You know, hope y'all be safe. Don't be running around, you know what I mean, shooting Roman candles at each other. Nothing like that. I don't know about y'all, man, but man, your boy, I grew up in the hood, man. We used to get them Roman candle drive-bys when I was a kid, man. You had to watch out for that. But yeah. So happy 4th of July, man. Listen, the gang is growing. You know what I mean? We're about to hit 3,500 subscribers, maybe even tonight, bro. I'm not trying to, you know what I mean, put nothing in the air, but it could happen tonight. You feel me? So the gang is growing. We're on the road to 5K. If you're new to the channel and watching this, welcome. And you know, give your boy a like on the video if you're watching. If you're new, maybe you haven't subscribed yet, you know what I mean, hit your boy with a subscribe, man. You know what I mean? We only got big things coming down the road. So listen, and we actually, hey, I debated not even saying nothing about this just yet because I know it hasn't completely come to fruition, but your boy has a couple connects with the Olympics this year. You guys might have, you know, if you watch my episode with Dr. Chrissy Halbert, you might have caught a little hint of that. You know, she's pretty deeply tied in the Olympics, and she may put me on. She may put me on to some Olympic content that might be coming your guys' way soon. So be on the lookout for that. Might have some short form Olympic style content coming out. So I'll tell you guys more once we solidify the deal, but some big things in the works, man. So make sure you guys are tuned in. Go follow me on my socials. Fight Night Forecast on Instagram. You know, jwood9515. My personal on Instagram. I post a lot of the content on there as well. So hey, man, we got some big things coming, man. I'm super excited about it. All right, enough about that though. You know what I mean? If you made it this far in the video, drop your boy a like though. Like I said, you know what I mean? Consider subscribing. Let's get into the episode. You feel me? All right, let's talk about this past weekend. We're going to kind of run through things a little quick. Not too quick, but quick enough to I get y'all in and out, man. Let y'all, you know, get an early start on enjoying your, you know, your little long holiday weekend. Because I know most of y'all, you know what I mean, if you're living stateside, y'all ain't working tomorrow, bro. So, and some of y'all ain't even working Friday, you feel me? So it might be a little long weekend for a lot of folk. So I'm gonna get y'all in and out. We're gonna tell you everything you need to know about this past weekend, what's coming up this weekend, and hey, from there we're just gonna enjoy the fights, man. That's all it is. That's all it is. All right. So Darius Fulgham, he had a decision victory. He actually fought through a hand injury. I believe this was Thursday of last week, so just about a week ago. So I fought through a hand injury, got the decision victory against a last-minute opponent in Vaughn Alexander. Tough dude. Took Fulgham all the way. I want to say it was like a week and a half notice too that they ended up switching the opponents on him. Eric Priest got a first-round stoppage. My man's is making his way up in the ranks. And so let's get into the two big cards from this past weekend. We had Teofimo and Steve Claggett that ended up going to unanimous decision. You know, last week I said I was looking for a big statement win from Teofimo, and it maybe wasn't the big statement win that I predicted it was going to be. I predicted a knockout. I'm not going to lie. We were wrong on that. But listen, I put money down on it, just like I had, you know, some other people that asked me about it. They all put money down on it too. I was confident that Teo was going to get the knockout. I think a lot of other people were as well. I was expecting a very, very big statement win from Teo, but I think this still was a statement win in a lot of ways, because I think we found out how tough Claggett is, man. Bro's got a chin. His punch output is insane. I think there was at one point, I think each fighter threw almost something crazy like 200-300 punches in one round, man. So it's nasty work, baby. That's a lot of punches being thrown. But yeah, it was honestly, I thought it was a really good fight. I think it was a unanimous decision. We had 120, 108 two times and 119, 109 once, all in favor for Teofimo. I think Mark Kriegel, when he was doing the unofficial card, he gave like the last 3 rounds to Claggett or something like that. Not sure. Judges disagreed, seemed like, but yeah, Claggett had really good pressure, kept moving forward the entire time. Teo, there was at times Teo kind of hung on the ropes a little longer than I wanted him to, you know, and it seemed like Teo was really in counterpuncher mode, because we all know how Teo is. Teo be switching it up. Teo be one way, next way, the third way, you know what I mean? But I thought Teo looked really good, you know, nonetheless. I think he looked good. I think he was definitely in that counterpuncher mode. He was really looking for that one big shot, it seemed like. And he landed a few big shots on Claggett. And that's why I was surprised. I did not know that, you know, Claggett had a chin like that and was as durable of a fighter. And I think that, honestly, a lot of people didn't see that coming, you know. And that's okay, man, because sometimes, I don't think Teo underestimated him, but sometimes I think as the fans, we tend to underestimate as well. So, you know, a lot of people are like, man, I never heard of this dude before. It was his first time at a world title shot. You know, I think he looked good. I think he was durable. I think he just didn't quite have the full package to be able to take on Teofimo, which Teofimo's just one of the better guys at 140, and that's just is what it is. So, I think personally, next for Teofimo, bro, I'm looking at a unification bout. I think the next time we see Teo will be a unification. I'm thinking Pitbull Cruz. I think Pitbull Cruz would be a dope matchup to make. I think has a very similar style to Claggett in the fact that he's a very durable fighter, and he's got that forward pressure too. But I think, you know, I think that what Claggett lacks in some areas, I think Pitbull Cruz picks up in those areas. So we'll see. You know, I think that we'll see if the fight happens. You know, but I think stylistically it could be a really dope matchup. I think, you know, especially seeing, I don't want to say Teo struggling with Claggett, but you know, Teo wasn't easy for him either. You know what I mean? He didn't make it easy. So I think it'd be cool to see, you know, Teo fight that similar kind of style, but just at a higher level, which is what I think Pitbull Cruz really is. So, yeah, I'm very interested in that fight. I think that's going to be next for them. Let's keep moving along, man. Keep moving along. Hey, listen, we had 8 minutes. We might keep this under 30 minutes, y'all. If y'all are lucky, boy, we might keep this under 30 minutes. Let's keep moving, though. We got Jesse Bam Rodriguez. He fought El Gallo Estrada. Tough fighter. Tough fighter. Great fight, I thought. Jesse Bam got his 20th victory. He did get dropped for the first time in his career. So I think this was honestly a fight that I don't want to say it, man, because you know, he's been on my radar for a grip, but I think that this fight low key was a a fight that kind of put Jesse Bam on the map for a lot of, you know, more casual fans. I hate using that phrase, but you know, for a more casual fan, this kind of put Bam on the map a little bit. People are starting to realize how good he really is, and I think that it's just as a fighter in one of those lower weight divisions. You know, what did he fight at? It was they were at bantamweight, I think. Am I tweaking? Yep, junior bantamweight. So they were at junior bantamweight, and I think they're, you know, if you ask the average fan how many junior bantamweight fighters they know, they would have a hard time telling you. You know what I mean? So I think it's just one of those things where sometimes in the lower weight divisions, it's a lot of people don't follow them as much as they do the 160 to 168 to 75 to cruiser. You know what I mean? So I think he's kind of gone under the radar a little bit, but I think he really put on a big show. Seventh round body shot KO. Like I said, he got dropped for the first time. He fought a tough opponent in El Gallo, and I think he just showed why he is who he is now, and he has now moved to the top 5 in the pound for pound. I believe he is 5th in the Ring Magazine pound for pound. So, man, hats off to you, my boy. Hats off to you, man. He looks good. I think he's finally getting the recognition that he deserves, and you know, I think he's only going to be moving on to bigger and better things. You know, he's got a lot of fights that he could probably make. I don't see it happen anytime soon, but a lot of people are mentioning because he's got a little ways to go. You know, in moving up in weight. He's only 24. I think he maybe 25. I'm pretty sure he's 24 though. You know, so he's got a little developing to do still in his man body and in his boxing skills. But people have been kind of hinting at a Naoya Inoue fight down the road, and I could see it. You know, Inoue has a lot of time left in the sport as well, I believe, and you know, Jesse's kind of starting to make his way, you know, into the big leagues, I guess, in a lot of ways. So I could see it. I think it'd make for a good fight, man. I think it'd make for a really good fight. I think Jesse's just got incredible skill, and he showed that. Actually, he's been showing it, but he was able to showcase it, I think, for the first time in this big fight. But yeah, so we'll see what's next for Jesse Bam. He's gonna go back, take a little bit of rest, enjoy his win. Now he's a two division world champion. So man, that's impressive for 24 years old too. So I think there's only bigger things coming. Only bigger things coming, man. So all right, let's get into this weekend of boxing. I got like one announcement, I think, and then we're about to wrap this up, man. So we'll make this a pretty quick episode. Been trying to make them quick anyway, you know what I mean? But I know we started late. But yeah, so July 6th, we have in Ontario, California, not Ontario, Canada. We have William Zepeda, and he's fighting Giovanni Cabrera. That's 12 rounds at 135 pounds. It's going to be a good fight. I'm a big William Zepeda fan. And we have on the undercard, we have Ricardo Sandoval versus Angel Acosta. That's going to be 10 rounds at flyweight. That's the co-main event. And then there's quite a few fights on this card, but I'm just kind of listing out the big 3. We got Alex Martin, and he's fighting Pedro Campa. 10 rounds at junior welter. So that'll be those are pretty much the pretty big fights on that card. That'd be July 6th, so that'll be Saturday. These are all kind of going to be hitting at the same time, so it's gonna be kind of tough probably to watch all 3, but I believe that's the zone, if I'm not mistaken. So William Zepeda and Giovanni Cabrera will be on the zone in Ontario, California. And then also in California, July 6th in Anaheim, California, we have an interesting card, to say the least. We have Nate Diaz versus Jorge Masvidal, boxing. Oh man, time out. We got to hop back for just 2 seconds. I forgot to cover UFC 303 last weekend. I forgot to put it in my preview too. Tweak it, man. But I told y'all, man, I know this page is mainly boxing, but I really do try to cover big UFC fights when they come along. And yeah, so we had Yuri Prohaska versus Alex Pereira, and there was actually quite a few good fights on that card. But the main event was that rematch, and Pereira just showed why he is probably the best UFC fighter on the planet right now. So if not the best, he's definitely the hottest. So he got him in a second round KO, head kick, and he knocked him down in the first and had him pretty jacked up in the first. Then Prohaska went to his corner, made it out of the round, went to his corner, tried to put the pieces together, came out, and I think it was like within the first 5-something seconds probably of the second round. Pereira just took care of business, got him out of there with a head kick, followed up with some ground and pound. And my boy was out of there, man. But you know, hats off to Prohaska, man. He's a tough dude. You know, he mentioned after the fight that he said he needs to reevaluate what he's fighting for, and you know, and he's like, I need to either get better or get out of the game. So you got to respect a guy who is, you know, through and through just a dope athlete, man. You know, he's a cool dude. You know, he works hard, loves the game. He let a gang, let a hustle. You know what I mean? Feel like one of them ball playing. but yeah, like, but yeah, man, super cool dude, man. I think he brings a lot to the sport. I hope he's not done. You know, I hope he's able to evolve his game a little bit and see where he goes from there. On the other end, man, you got Pareda, man, who's easily one of the hottest UFC fighters on the planet right now, man. And a lot of people are mentioning if John Jones comes back and gets healthy, they want to see him make a little run at heavyweight, bro. And I'm at this point, why not? Why not just have bro go test his waters at heavyweight? He's huge. He's even huge for the 205 division that they're in. I mean, he put on 25 pounds after the weigh-in, man. So, man, I can see him going and giving some mad trouble at heavyweight too. So yeah, but anyway, did not want that one to slip through the cracks. I already let it slip through the cracks the last episode, but I had to come back. You know what I mean? Your boy had to make a quick turnaround. You know what I mean? Fix it up. So, but yeah, big win for Pareda. We'll see what's next for both guys. Pretty hyped. So yeah, and that reminded me because I was just talking about Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal. So both UFC fighters are fighting in boxing, 10 rounds at light heavyweight. I'm interested in this. I am big interested in this fight. I think personally, it's tough because both guys are pretty renowned strikers from the UFC. Both guys have since then retired from the UFC, but you know, I had a lot of people ask me off rip who I thought has a better chance of winning this, and I think I have to go with Jorge Masvidal, man. You know, Nate Diaz is a good striker, but at one point Masvidal was one of the best strikers in the game, but I guess at the same time so was Diaz. So this is actually gonna be tougher than I thought. Personally, I'm a big Masvidal fan, so I think I'm going with Masvidal on this, but I think it really could go either way. We already saw Nate Diaz in the boxing match against Jake Paul. I didn't think he looked that good, but then again, that was his first boxing match. That was a little over a year ago. Bro might have had some more time to hone the sweet science, and maybe that just might be what he needed, just a little more time in the game, baby. You know what I mean? So we'll see, man. I think it's going to be an interesting fight for sure. Again, for my betting guys, I'm going with Jorge Masvidal probably, and I'll probably end up parlaying that with some other guys on this card and probably some guys on the Shakur card coming up too. But but yeah, I don't know what's going on. I feel like my voice is just off today, man. I apologize about that. So on the undercard of that, we got Danny Jacobs, same Danny Jacobs that fought Canelo and multiple other guys at 160 and 154 too, I believe. He's fighting Shane Mosley Jr. That is the son of Sugar Shane Mosley. So gonna be excited for that one. That should be a fun little fight there. 10 rounds of super middleweight. And then we have Chris Avila. He's fighting Anthony Pettis from the UFC. Anthony Pettis, Showtime Pettis. That'll be 6 rounds at light heavyweight. And then starting the show off, we got Amado Vargas. He's the middle brother between Fernando Vargas Jr. and who's the other one? Emiliano Vargas, the young brother who actually just fought either last weekend or the weekend before on one of those top ranked cards and had a victory. Amado is the middle son of Fernando Senior, Fernando Vargas Senior, who was a big boxer in the early 2000s. He's fighting Sean Garcia, which is the younger brother of Ryan Garcia. Everyone knows Ryan Garcia at this point, I would say. That's gonna be 8 rounds at 135. So at lightweight, we'll see how that goes. The lightweight division's stacked. Both these guys are trying to make a name for themselves and get themselves within contention, I am sure. But yeah, so that's gonna be a dope little card on July 6th. And I'll probably be flipping between that and the Shakur card mostly. I'm gonna keep my eye on the Williams Zepeda card because, like I said, I have a feeling they're all gonna kind of hit it around the same time. Shakur will probably definitely go on last because it's on the East Coast in Newark, New Jersey. So Shakur's making a homecoming, and it's gonna be pretty exciting. So let's talk about that card. We got Shakur versus Artem Harutyunyan, and that's gonna be for Shakur's WBC lightweight belt. Then we have Oshaki Foster versus Robson Conceição. That's gonna be a tough fight, bro. I've been made a big fan out of Oshaki Foster for sure. Been following him for just about a year now, and he's the WBC 130-pound champion. So that should be a really good fight. Conceição is a tough fighter, tends to gas out and kind of drop off in the second half. So we'll see if Oshaki Foster can take advantage of that. Then we got a still upcoming prospect, borderline future star, possibly. Keyshawn Davis, he's fighting Miguel Madueño at 10 rounds at 135. And then we got another up-and-coming prospect slash future superstar, Abdullah Mason. He's fighting Luis Leron, and that's gonna be 8 rounds at 135 as well. So a lot of 135ers, man. And then we got the title fight at 130. So it's gonna be dope. Actually, I want to check something out really quick with you guys. I'm gonna check this out, look this up real quick. I wanted to look up Harutyunyan's box rack. Let me see what his box rack is here. 33 years old. Let's check it out. I want to go through who all he's fought. 33 years old, German. So he's fought Frank Martin, lost a unanimous decision. A lot of people thought Martin should have got him out of there, but you know, it is what it is. Let's see, man, his resume isn't as steep as I thought it was. You got Humberto Galindo, Samuel Molina, Miguel Cesario Antin, Islam Dumanov. I mean, his last fights, have been against good fighters. Galindo was 14-1. Samuel Molina was 16-0 at the time. Cesario Antin was 19-4. Islam Dumanov 10-1. Hugo Alfredo Santillan 19-5. So, bro, hey, those guys, obviously, there's levels to boxing. But he was fighting people with winning records, so that's a good sign. So it looks like his statement fight was for sure Frank Martin. Lost unanimous decision. Didn't look bad though in that fight. He did a lot better than what a lot of people thought he was going to. If I'm not mistaken, he kind of moved around the ring pretty well, if I remember that fight right. Made it tough for Frank Martin to show off his highlights and his style. So I'm afraid. All right, so here we go. We're gonna get into this. This will be kind of the last thing we talk about here, besides the one announcement I have. So here's what I think. Shakur is in dire need of a big statement win. Listen, Shakur's one of my favorite fighters. And he's been taking a whooping on social media for the past year. Because his last fight was in like June, I think, of last year, maybe July, somewhere around there. So he's been taking a whooping for about the past year, bro, on social media for his poor performance. Who was that against? De Los Santos. Edwin De Los Santos. Now listen, De Los Santos and him did not have a very favorable matchup in the beginning. Both guys stylistically, it was a clash of styles. From the jump, we didn't think it would make for the best fight, but we didn't expect for what happened to happen. So listen, Shakur didn't look bad. He still won by unanimous decision, right? A dub's a dub. He still went out there, looked really good. But a lot of people don't realize that Shakur had a hand injury on his left hand. He didn't bring it up, didn't make excuses about it. But you can tell the last, half of the fight, he really only jabbed. He only used his lead hand. He didn't have his power hand available. His power hand was not in action, you could say. But yeah, he had a hand injury, and I don't know if that hand injury was coming into the fight or if it happened mid-fight, because they really didn't talk about it that much. But you can see in the post-fight where he's holding it weird when he's dapping people up. You know, he's very careful about the way he touched it, whatnot. So it's tough to say, but I will say this. I do think that this fight is going to look a lot more like the Yoshino fight, which is actually the last time he was in New York, New Jersey, I believe. And I think that it's going to look a lot better. I think I'm going Shakur knockout. Take that as you will. Your boy you've always been on a cold streak lately on the betting and on the predictions, but I'm going Shakur knockout. I think Shakur is going to come out with a big statement here. I think he's going to try to do what Frank Martin couldn't do, and that's some big things, man. So I mean, I think he wants to go out there and show that he can do what Frank Martin couldn't do, and that might set him up for a tank fight if that's something he's willing to go about. And then I think he wants to go out there and redeem himself from the past year of hate that he's gotten. And I think that he's going to do it in a lot better manner this time, because I think the last time we saw Shakur fully healthy was the Yoshino fight, and he looked incredible. Comes out, has a bad performance against against De Los Santos, and then you know how the boxing media is, and the boxing culture and the fans, unfortunately, they are very fickle. You're only as good as your last fight, right? So for the past year, he's been only as good as his last fight. So a lot of people have been, man, whatever, he ain't that. We found out about him. He's exposed. He's woo-woo-woo. He's blah, blah, blah. And everyone's bugging out. But I expect to see a fully healthy Shakur be the Shakur we know and love. I think he's going to come back strong. I think he's going to look good. I think that Shakur's defense relies a lot on his offense. His offense is one of the biggest parts of his defense, I believe. Just his ability to rely on his left hand, and his ability, and he uses a lot of his defense in the pocket. You know, and people were like, they dissected that last fight, and they were like, man, all he does is move back and move away. But I think the reason he had to do a lot of that was because he couldn't exchange in the pocket. His left hand was hurt. He only had his lead hand, and you can't just go in. You can't have exchanges in the pocket, bro, with just your lead hand. You know, you have to be able to use that power, bro. Shakur's got that pop, bro. Whether y'all want to say it or not, he's got power. He's got pop. Very similar to how Mayweather will hit you and move. Shakur, using that power, that pop, sets him up to be able to move and use his defense, especially in the pocket, making him miss by inches, right? So, and we didn't see a lot of that in the De Los Santos fight. If you go back and look at it, you can tell that he wasn't using his rear hand. He wasn't on his regular game. So, I look to see Shakur have a lot better of a win. I believe, and at the end of the day, y'all can hate all you want, but Shakur still won. He still beat De Los Santos. So at the end of the day, his hand was raised, even when he wasn't fully 100%. This just is what it is, man. This is what it is. So, but I'm looking for a bigger statement win. And I think that it's going to be a lot more interesting of a fight. I think he's tired of everybody sleeping on him. He's got a lot to prove. So I'm excited for this weekend. I think it's going to be hyped. We got 3 really good cards this weekend. Actually, I lied. We got one more. July 7th in Tokyo, Japan. Across the pond, so that'll be probably our time. July 7th would be probably 2 or 3 in the morning, something like that. It's Kazuto Ioka. He's fighting Fernando Martinez, and that is for the WBA and IBF bantamweight unification bout. So I believe Ioka is the WBA and Martinez is the IBF junior bantamweight champion. So that should be fun. And that's the headline. There's quite a few on that card. It's not a lot of names we know. It's a lot of Japanese fighters. No hate. A lot of good fighters in Japan, but I think that it's just they're not crazy well known just yet. But you know, I hope that changes, because I hope that Japan gets their fighters on the map. We already got a few big names coming out of Japan, but it'd be dope to see more. So yeah. The one big announcement that I have is I saw that Canelo is working on his next fight. Now, at one point, he was supposed to be fighting William Skull, which is a mandatory, but that's kind of gone to the wayside. They're looking at either Edgar Berlanga, which we kind of knew that was going to happen, or Jamal Charlo, the big Charlo, the other Charlo. So it looks like it looks like Canelo's coming for the whole Charlo bloodline, man. So we'll see how that goes. I think it's going to be either one. Could be an interesting fight, possibly. We'll see what they end up with. I heard Caleb Plant is also going into camp, so I wonder if he might be on the undercard there of that, or he's planning for something else. Maybe he's planning on fighting one of the guys, or whichever one of the guys doesn't fight Canelo, because Plant's got a little bit of beef with both those guys. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm excited. I really wouldn't be surprised if that ends up being on the co-main. Maybe, you never know. So I think it could be dope. I know Caleb Plant's kind of been a headliner, and Canelo's obviously a headliner. So we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, so that's really the big announcement there. But yeah, so tune in this weekend. We got some good fights. I'll be back next week. Hope you guys have a happy 4th of July. If you've made it this far, once again, hit me with a like, hit me with a subscribe, comment, tell me something, talk to me in the comments, give me a little bit of hate. I know today's episode was a little kind of bare bones, I guess, a little bit, but it is what it is, man. We gotta get it out. Gotta get it out to you guys. Not every episode's gonna be the best episode. That just is what it is. But listen, we're growing. The gang's growing. I love you guys. You guys love me. Y'all rock with me. I rock with y'all. But yeah, for real. If you're new to the channel, give me a subscribe. Tell a friend. Super hype. We're hopefully gonna have some of the, some of that Olympic content possibly coming out in the future. I'll let you guys know more about that as it develops. But yeah, y'all know where to find me. Go hit me on my socials. Give me some love. Give me some hate. Give me whatever you got. Hope you guys have a happy and safe holiday weekend. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.